Til det afsted, eller jeg tror, jeg kører bare. Ja, jeg synes.
Den præventive pivot. En dame vil have mere choco. Jeg siger, hun ligner mig ikke, men hun har lange ører. Hun ligner mig mere end en elefant. Monolog nummer 10. Nummer 2. Shitty love for 2 weeks. Underbogen skal tænde for varmen, ellers rammer det hele bygningen. Nede på jorden, der sidder lorden. Lige så fint og glimrer, mens hjernen simrer. Der koger den i sit eget spyt og ønsker, den aldrig blev født. Håbet er så småt blevet gulligt. Hvad er din yndlingsfarve? Du var våd helt til skindet i går. Det er klart, der er koldt, når de er så nære i. Du var gennemblødt, var du? Jo, det var du sgu. Tør bliver man aldrig her, fordi han er så nære i. Nære i helt til skindet. Vi stoler på Gud. Alle andre skal betale kontant. I wonder why he's the greatest dancer. I wonder why he's the mess he is. Egon skræmmer de unge væk fra vandhullet, men mig kan du ikke skræmme væk. Det er der slet ingen tvivl om. Vis mig en veganer, og jeg skal vise dig en, der slikker kagerullen udenvendigt. Veganere behøver ikke kniv og gaffel. Hold kæft mand, jeg har købt for 300 og vandt 1 bajer. Går i byen for at undgå byen, for at skrive og drikke en øl, for at undgå byen. Redose the lady.
Ja. Ja. Hvad siger du? Jamen, det er den her, skal jeg også trykke på her. Ja. Så er det der. Er du klar? Ja, jeg er klar. Og lige om lidt, når vi så slår over i engelsk, så har vi et par spørgsmål fra jer lyttere, som vi lige kører igennem, før vi starter vores interview med Lorenzo. And Lorenzo,
Yeah,
welcome to the Mindste TV.
thank you.
I'm very happy that you're here.
Thanks for the invitation.
How was your trip down to the place?
My trip down to the place?
Yeah, how did you find it? Was it okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty central.
Central.
Yeah, that was nice. I didn't expect. I thought it was some cellar in Northwest, you know. I took like 35 minutes to get to the interview, so it was a pleasure.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. Before we go into the interview, and also, of course, we have to say, after the interview, you want to play a bit for us.
Yeah,
We
okay.
brought instrument? What?
Yeah, it's called flauel sax.
A flauel sax. I have no idea.
It's an hybrid instrument I claim I invented. It's kind of
We will talk about that later.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting. First, we will, because it's our, I understand also you have anniversary on your...
Yes, yes. We are sharing this 10th edition anniversary with Dystopian Night. It is going to be next week, the 29th of April.
Not the date.
On Friday, it's going to be brutal. DJ set, an act, and weird music.
Where is it gonna be happening this time? Stubberud. Korsgade. Okay, so because we have the 10th as well, we will be doing a couple of questions from the viewers that we've been promising to do. And this is gonna be the time maybe we can help
Maybe.
answer.
Yeah, that's it.
Mikael, you will also be helping me answering a bit if I'm in trouble, no? Okay, so first question is from Knud Ellebo Fransen, 37 years old, from Randby. And Knud's question is, how do you clean your lawn from goose shit? It's a pretty small lawn, but it's like a big goose. So maybe they will take like a small rake, or maybe something like a vacuum cleaner you can maybe use. If it's not too big lawn.
Yes.
How do you clean goose shit from your lawn?
I'm not sure what the lawn is.
Lawn is like a grass field, like small grass.
I'm not really off about shit on grass. I use shit in
You
grass.
just leave it actually.
Yes.
You just leave it. So Knud, you can maybe just leave it. Next question is from Jeanette Brodersen, 44 years old, from Østerbro. And Jeanette asked us, how are you making your program bæredygtigt, climate friendly?
Sustainable.
And maybe Mikael, you can help. Now this program is not very sustainable actually. We don't do a lot. Maybe that's...
I think maybe like this.
So we do it like that.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question, Jeanette. And that's it for the viewers' questions. There will be, you can just write our email, which is, you can find it here. And you can write us your questions or send photos, maybe from your grass field. We would like to see that.
Det er Mindste. TV.
So, Lorenzo, welcome to the program.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for coming. It's,
I got nothing to
it's
say.
not everybody wants to just come down in the basement with us. So I'm very happy for that. I know you from these shows, Dystopian Nights. Can you tell us a little bit about how did you come to this concept of the show? Maybe you can tell a bit about what is Dystopian.
So basically it's a night of concert and performance where we try to have various acts moving they're generally in the experimental, but not, I mean, it's very various, and the idea is to bring together very different people, because I think that at the end Copenhagen is a very cool town with a lot of very cool artists, but it's also a little town. So sometimes it's kind of funny that you see people doing very interesting things and not meeting with each other and kind of have little groups. And so, and all doing very cool music. So I just thought it would be cool to have all the nights together and to mix up people that don't know each other so that we can join forces, basically.
Are you doing it alone, or you have like do you have like some partners to do this with, or it's mainly you're the idea man from this?
At the moment I'm the idea man,
Okay.
but my idea was to get soon a team and turn me out. Some people at the end is always helping me out, especially the guys from Strawberry, and that is one of the places where I get help at all. Because there is more of a community which is alive and you can feel it. While in another place sometimes I just get the place, but there is also a bunch of people that is always there helping me out. Even if we are looking for volunteers always, that would be useful any day.
So you're gonna have soon the 10th.
Yes.
Totally nice.
Yeah.
That's a lot of nice. Which one has been the worst one? I want to ask you.
The worst one, ooh. Good question. The point is that I don't remember all of them. No,
Drink?
because I just, when they are 10, you mix the night one with
Yeah.
the other
Yeah,
and
of
stuff
course.
like this.
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. There are some, I really don't know. I don't know. And also they are always very cool. It's very personal. I mean, the mood usually is kind of always enjoyable. Yeah, maybe number 9. No, what was that? Number 8.
Number 9, that was the last one. No?
Yeah, no, that was a cool one. It was very cool. Maybe number 7. Number 7, we were in a kind of in a little room. It was very full of people. And yeah, I just remember it was a bit kind of...
7 is also a weird number, maybe.
Yeah, maybe so.
So
But really, I'm kind of, I just throw a number there. One of them, a few of them can be less convincing for sometimes you choose the wrong position for the stage or the speakers.
So you try to try new things every time, or you're looking for the
No, always different.
Always different.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a bit the deal.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe the most dystopian night of the 9 nights.
Which one has been most dystopian?
Is that the worst, and then maybe which one has been
Yeah, because the worst
succeeding
is-
in a dystopian way?
That's also a good question because I don't remember all of them. I think, well, one that I remember well is in January we had a release special where we officially released Bye Bye Tsunami with my band, our new album, and we had some brutal musicians. I remember a few acts, but they were all insane, and there were like 6, 7. That was memorable. I remember that. Then maybe we didn't have so much people, we didn't sell that much ticket, I don't know, I don't care, but the level of the performances was brutal.
That was
a release special edition.
special edition.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So my advice is to look out for the dystopic nights, where it's gonna happen and so on, because it's always like interesting to go there.
Yeah, it's always
You
fun.
will get a new experience. If you're not into experimental music, or you don't know what you want, it's always nice to go there because you will have different.
Yeah, maybe find something. We are not
You
sure
will
what
you will find something. Maybe something you don't like, but then also something you will like. I can recommend it from here.
Yes.
So a bit more personal question maybe. I want to ask you if you have maybe a memory of the first time of experiencing music as a child.
I think it was from television.
On television?
Yeah. My family, they didn't have such a strong relation with music. I mean, of course, some, how do you call it, like a song your mother sing to you when you go to sleep. Some of those I remember, they were terrifying. I was thinking about this one that...
Because of the lyrics or the...
Yeah, it was disturbing lyrics. Now I remember, kind of a melancholic sad melody. And he said like, yeah, sleep, sleep my love, Dad will be back and he will bring a cocoa.
A cocoa? Like a cocoa?
I don't know, bro. What the fuck is a cocoa? I mean, he never brought a cocoa home, you know? I don't know, I didn't get what was the meaning, but it was...
So you thought
yes.
it's like a demon?
I thought it was scary. Because first of all, my dad was not there somehow for some reason, and then he would come back with this cocoa.
You don't know what it is, maybe.
Exactly.
The afraid of the unknown, fear of the unknown.
But exactly, you don't know why should you bring a cocoa. I mean,
what is a cocoa?
Exactly.
Is that a bird?
Yeah, I don't know. They used to say cocoa. I don't know what it is.
That's interesting. I think the reason I asked the question is also like, what brings you to do these experimental music things? You make your own instrument. We'll talk about it later. But what kind of stuff brings a person, you, to get into this kind of stuff? Is it just like a series of coincidences, or you know, like did you realize at some point, okay, I'm gonna go into this kind of field, or...
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I could answer in... Of course, it's a series of coincidences, which I believe they are never coincidences. They are just the same kind of order that I cannot grasp. But also I think, I mean, which is... sometimes you realize that you are doing something because you cannot do anything else. So maybe sometimes all your life you try to play that music and then you realize that you cannot make it. Because I mean, it's like if you feel if you are doing what you are doing is always wrong and you want to change it because you think it's wrong. But at the end, you're wrong, so you got to do it. Yeah. I never really realized that I want to do experimental music. I just see that everything I do, I go in a direction that no one listens to that, and that most of the people is like, what is that? And I was kind of ashamed for a while. Now I kind of let it be. I'm like, I mean, what cares? So it's kind of, I go in that direction. I think, I don't think it's a quality, I think it's most kind of, I don't know, so this type that push us in these directions.
I think it's a very nice answer. I want to ask you, as a person, if you have to go to a deserted island with nothing, you can bring only two things. What will you bring?
There is no one also on the island?
There's no one there, it's just you.
Well,
you can bring a person, but that counts as one of the things.
Okay, then I will bring my flute and a woman. A random one. So depends, if I can choose that, then I will choose that.
But maybe it's nice to have somebody that you don't know, so can you get to know them and...
Yeah, but it will be also not that nice.
It can, you don't know.
It's risky, depends how long you're gonna stay there.
It's risky, no? But there is some risk, it's a deserted island and you cannot choose three things, you can choose two things, so... any risk?
I think go with flute for sure, and then
So you can play.
yeah, it's that's longer, and then desert the islands. I think you have to do.
Speaking of flutes, do you want to explain your little instrument?
Yeah, it's not little, and it's a flauto sax. And what
Big
is I work on this
I
instrument.
understand you try to patent it, or you want to
Yeah, kind of.
trademark how you call it?
Yeah, no, not really. I was suggested to do that, but the fact is that I mean, it's not. I didn't build the instrument itself, but it's an hybrid instrument. So I mixed two objects which are already exist. That's why I cannot patent it. And I'm a flute player and play flute in very crazy way. So it's actually born as a preparation of the flute. A way for me to get very different sound result. And when I tried other stuff, and this was really giving me completely different sound from the flute. And for many reasons, it was giving me something very primal that I needed. It's a very limited instrument, but in this case it's a limitation that leads to creation, I would say. Yeah, basically.
I think it's a nice thought. When you take something away, sometimes you get something back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very often I think. I mean, especially today we got everything we want, you know. So sometimes when you got everything, then you don't know what the fuck to do.
Exactly, blank out. I
Exactly.
know exactly this thing.
Sometimes you take a bit something away, as you say, and it's a stimulation to do something new.
Maybe to make some mistakes that you didn't make before.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with this instrument, you know, I have a trained flute player. I play classical, school, academic and stuff. So for me to go to this instrument where not
Is it harder to play?
is much more like screaming, you know.
Okay.
And also all the pre-established music notion that I think all the time about when I play the flute. At some level, with this don't apply at all.
So you cannot use your school?
Not really. I can use my muscle, I can use some reflection, some physical stuff.
Okay.
I can use my voice, I can scream on it, I can kind of guide it with my musical thought. But it's brutal.
So how long have you been playing this now? Is it a new thing you made?
No, there are maybe it's even 6 years.
Okay.
Then I work on that. This is, I published like 2-3 albums with this instrument featured and songs built around it and stuff. And maybe 6 years. I have different prototypes. Now I play this last one that is pretty convincing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Sounds good.
to hear it in action.
Feel free to. Still have a lot of time.
Do you like to
Feel free to.
do you like to eat grapefruit? It's like red and it's bitter, no? But it has all the vitamins, and I just like to eat the grapefruit down here. And usually with my guests as well.
Okay.
Like Nickel usually also gets like a small bite from the fruit. So do we have any other questions? What do you think happens after death?
Dust.
You become dust?
Yeah. I think that's proven. We are kind of short of that.
Fruit. But it's like very bitter. It's like red and it's bitter, no? But it's like very bitter. It's like red and it's bitter, no? But it has all the vitamins, and I just like to eat the grapefruit down here. And usually with my guests as well.
Okay.
Nickel usually also gets like a small bite. I like to think that the universe will just bore itself to death. Everything will just be so boring that it will all just vanish. Well, you know, clean my teeth. And then before I got out, I just wanted to have like one of these. And I was like dying in my mouth. Because, you know, like from the mouthwash and this, it's crazy. I was like, I had never, it was too much, even for me. It was